The truth has finally leaked on the New York Knicks and their pursuit of the top free agent on their board right now in Ben Simmons, as there has been a ton of questions surrounding Simmons and the New York Knicks, while Landry Shamet is also still an option. Outside of these two, there are other options as well that are being discussed by the New York Knicks for that final veterans minimum roster spot. And there's been a lot of questions, and now we just got the best answer that we've gotten on Ben Simmons if he's coming to the Knicks, and who we are looking at for that spot if it is not Ben Simmons. And we are going to jump into all that, break down all the implications behind everything here. But before we do that, guys, if you're part of that 57% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, I don't really know what you're doing right now, man, because the New York Knicks are about to be back, and you want to stay ahead of the curve on all New York Knicks news, and this is the place to be, man. Every single day we come out with a New York Knicks video, rain, shine, whatever, because I'm actually in my apartment right now, so it doesn't matter if it's raining or sunny. I'm still going to record these videos. And guys, let's jump into it, because there's been a lot of questions surrounding Ben Simmons and the New York Knicks. It's been that way for a while now. Simmons is a very polarizing target and a very polarizing figure in basketball. Some people think that he has a back injury that he's not going to recover from. Some people think he has a mentality issue that he can recover from. Some people think he has a back injury that he also can recover from. There's been a whole slew of different storylines behind Ben Simmons, and truly the only person who really knows what's going on is Simmons himself and probably the people closest to him. Now, there's been teams that have had positive experiences with Ben Simmons, but literally all of them have ended negatively at the end of the day, and that has been something to be very aware of when you consider Ben Simmons. However, the Knicks are a smart front office. Leon Rose and co know exactly what they're doing, and if they believe in Ben Simmons, I trust Rose and co to make the correct decision. Now, with a lot of discussion surrounding this, Ian Begley recently revealed what he's heard. Begley is the best Knicks insider, and he said, "Logic tells me to take the field over Ben Simmons because there are so many different variables here for the Knicks. They have interest. Other teams have interest, and they have one spot unless they make a trade to open up another. So it seems to me you are looking at Landry Shamet or a Ben Simmons type player. That is why I would probably take the field. Are the Knicks the favorite? I do not think so." Now, here's the thing about what Begley said. First of all, if Begley says it, believe it. That's part of the rule of thumb with Knicks fans, but especially when Begley comes out with something. But on top of that, I can't shout out Ian Begley enough. He's the absolute man, too, on top of everything else. But when it comes down to Ben Simmons, there isn't really another Ben Simmons type player in the NBA who's not a superstar. Like, the two closest comparisons to 6'10" guard skills, downhill machine, excellent defender, you're looking at a mix of LeBron and Giannis here. And I mean, obviously, the Knicks aren't getting a LeBronis situation. I just wanted to say LeBronis. They're not getting either of them. So, when it comes down to it, though, Giannis is going to stay in the Knicks rumors, and the Knicks do want to get Giannis, but it's going to be tough considering the draft situation. I've been over it a million times. You guys know the story, or you can check out one of my 7,000 Giannis videos. But when it comes down to it, Ben Simmons is someone who the Knicks clearly have interest in because he could play all five positions. And by all five, I mean he could play the point guard and he could play the center position. He can dominate the ball. He could be a floor general and be the lead ball handler, something the Knicks want another one of very clearly. At the same time, they wouldn't mind some more height on this team as well, because outside of Mitchell Robinson and Karl-Anthony Towns, there isn't another proven center on the roster. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Ariel Huckporty as much as the next guy, but when it comes down to it, he hasn't proven anything yet. I should probably stop saying when it comes down to it. I've been doing that all day with all the videos I've made, and I have to stop. But Ben Simmons, here's the big thing with him. He got played off the court in the playoffs. And that's something we have to be aware of, is that he got played off the court in the playoffs. He averaged 1.5 rebounds, 0.8 points, and 0.8 assists in the playoffs with the Clippers. Now, he didn't play very high minutes because the Nuggets didn't guard him. They just didn't. They were like, no, we don't have to guard him. He's not going to score. He's not going to look at the hoop. He's not going to shoot the ball. It doesn't matter. And because they did that, Simmons struggled. Simmons also struggled with the Clippers in general, putting up under 3 points per game. Now, on the season, his numbers look like an excellent bench piece to put on your team when you look at just the 5 points per game, the 5 rebounds, the 5.5 assists, the fact that he's still an elite defender, especially on the ball. Ben Simmons is someone who you do want to have on your roster if he can perform like this. Now, the shooting's a scare, especially if the Knicks are bringing off Ben Simmons and Josh Hart together off the bench. That is going to be some wonky shooting. You're really banking on Jordan Clarkson's 36% from 3 to stay up there when he's had seasons where he shot a lot worse. And on top of that, you're also just banking on Gershon Yabusele to be hitting his threes as well, and he's not the best corner three-point shooter. He's excellent above the break, so the wing, the top of the key, but he's not the world's best corner three-point shooter, so it does cause some concern how you're going to fit Ben Simmons into some of these lineups. Now, in a lineup where Ben is with Jalen Brunson, Wingstop and Cat, that's going to be awesome. You replace Mitchell Robinson / Josh Hart with Ben Simmons. You could start that lineup if you want, and it will likely work to a high degree, but also you can guard them the same way that you guarded Josh Hart, because Ben is not like a better rebounder than Josh Hart, even though he should be a far better rebounder than Josh Hart. He's just not. And with all this, it does cause some serious concern, especially you could look at other options. You could look at Landry Shamet, played 15 minutes per game last year with the Knicks. He averaged 6 points a game, shot 46% from the field, and nearly 40% from three. Now, Shamet had an awful start to the season as well, so the way he finished was very, very, very impressive. He shot really, really well in the corner three, shooting 47% from out there, and 67%, over two-thirds of his shots were three-point attempts last season. So we also see that, and we understand that there is a lot to like about Landry Shamet as well. Can he be a lead ball handler? Absolutely not. But can he do everything else? Yes. Now, when we look at everything else with Ben Simmons, when we look at this situation, it becomes a very interesting kind of point of view, because personally, you look at the numbers, Landry Shamet, when he got in playoff minutes, like when he got real minutes during the game, he averaged 54% from three. He shot 54% from three. So we look at Ben Simmons, and he got played off the court in the playoffs. Landry Shamet played his way onto the court. We have to be aware of that. And I'm not trying to blast Ben Simmons, because myself, personally, I've gone back and forth between who I want. Right now, I want Landry Shamet. In a week, I might want Ben Simmons if this thing isn't resolved by then, which it damn well might not be at this point. Now, the Knicks were listed by Bleacher Report as the second best option for Ben Simmons, and we are going to dive in and take a look on why they said that, because it is something interesting to go over. I mean, as Eric Pincus mentioned, who's also a salary cap expert on top of things, in case you were wondering, shout out Eric Pincus, one of the Knicks' most significant weaknesses last season was a lack of playmaking on the roster. Outside of star guard Jalen Brunson's 7.3 assists per game, the only high assist teammate he had was Josh Hart at 5.9. Recently, they signed Jordan Clarkson as a bench scorer first and foremost, not a shot creator for others, though I swear he can do it, and I will die on that hill. That's me talking. That's not what Eric Pincus wrote. Now, Pincus also mentioned that Simmons could relieve some of that pressure with the size to play alongside Brunson, or entirely with the second unit to help generate offense. Before acquiring Karl-Anthony Towns, the Knicks were primarily known as a grinded-out defensive unit that shifted to a more offense-first squad. But the team still has plenty of strong wing defenders like Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. Simmons adds to that group while also addressing a need on offense and playmaking. New York is closer to a championship than the number one ranked Sacramento Kings, but it doesn't have more than a minimum salary to offer. Now, here's the thing. If you're Ben Simmons, one of the smart things you could do here is take a minimum salary on a winning team like the Knicks and go out there and prove that you could help teams win. That's what you should do right now in your career, Ben, because I know you're watching Knicks Digest. But when it comes down to it, I think that's a situation that you got to look at. I think it makes sense. Look, we can look at the other free agents on the market. We can go for it, and we can look at it, and we can see what we have here. I mean, Malcolm Brogdon's also a great option. He covers that playmaking need very well, but also he's shorter. And then you have Deuce, Jordan Clarkson, and Malcolm Brogdon together. That's not ideal. Gary Payton covers the defense as a wing. I don't know why he's listed as a point guard here. He's not. But at the same time, he's an undersized wing. But still, then you're still undersized, and you don't get the playmaking or the shooting. Malik Beasley's not going to be in the NBA anymore. Amir Coffey is signed to the Bucks. I don't know why he's on this list. Corey Joseph, no. Russell Westbrook solves the playmaking. Still isn't a great shooter. Excellent defender as well at that guard spot. But then you still have Russ, Clarkson, and Deuce, which is difficult to work with. And everything we come down to, except for Alec Burks right here, because at the same time, you look at Burks, he could totally play the small forward. He's a wing. He's not a guard. I don't know why he's insisted to be played at guard by Tom Thibodeau. It was never the right call. But Burks has been good in the playoffs with the Knicks as well. He's someone the Knicks should look at. Cameron Payne's not coming back. DeLon Wright, I don't think he's coming back. Payne, definitely not. Monte Morris, the Knicks won't have interest because he doesn't really cover the needs too well. On top of that, you then go down, and who do you see at the bottom of this? Landry Shamet. There's also Lonnie Walker as well, who could fit, but I prefer Landry Shamet personally. I'm more of a Landry Shamet guy. Now, on top of that, you look at the power forwards and centers, like these guys who could play that tweener spot. Obviously, the Knicks are not bringing back PJ Tucker. Shout out Unk for everything he did. Bol is interesting, and let me know in the comments if you want me to make a Bol video, because I've gotten some requests for it. Precious, you could bring him back, but I don't think the Knicks will, because he didn't necessarily have an inspiring season by any means. James Johnson's just there for veteran presence and probably just going to stay with Indiana. I'd be surprised if he didn't. Jeremiah Robinson Earl has not had the greatest career thus far. Kai Jones, someone else. If you guys want to see a Kai Jones Bol video, I'll make the argument for both guys because I do have some beliefs in both of them. And then outside of that, the Knicks aren't signing Anton Watson to a full-term deal. They'd keep him on a two-way if they really wanted him. Then on top of everything else, you look at the big man position, and it is dead. I mean, there's Al Horford, but he's not signing there. It's either with he's definitely going to sign with the Warriors. I don't know why he hasn't yet. Then you see Tristan Thompson, who's just on the Cleveland for vibes, on the Cavs for vibe reasons. Bring back Taj Gibson. No, in all seriousness, don't bring back Taj Gibson. Don't bring back DeAndre Jordan, if you remember that fever dream of half a year. Don't bring in Thomas Bryant or Charles Bassey or Alex Leonard, Bismack Biyombo. None of those guys make sense. They all don't do what Ben Simmons would do at the big man position better. The only one who does is Al Horford, who's a completely different type of big man. That 76 cars honk outside my apartment. Guys, I really, really, really believe the Knicks should go with Landry Shamet. I think that Jordan Clarkson is being underrated here. I think so is Deuce, as playmakers by the Knicks. And we're going to see what happens. The Knicks can add another guy to their roster later on in the season as well. They'll be able to round it out with a 15th man. And considering how many young players the Knicks have who they're a little bit weary of right now, I mean, Mohamed Diawara is going to end up on the roster. Pacome is still very raw. Kevin McCullough Jr. is going to be on a two-way, at least for now, but he'll get off that eventually. Don't worry. And then, I mean, Kolek, he also adds playmaking if you need him in a pinch. So you have Tyler Kolek there, who, when he got above 10 minutes per game in those 8 games, or those 8 games where he got 15 minutes per game or more, he averaged around 7 assists. The man can pass the ball. It's a matter of if he could score the ball at all or play any defense. So you also have that. You have a few options here that you could go to. But guys, I want to see the Knicks pull something off and get a shooter. They desperately need a spot-up shooter with that quick trigger. That's Landry Shamet. I think that's more of a need than playmaking right now. And again, if they don't, there's trades. There will be free agency come March or April, around that area, even late February, depending on how everything works out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks.